Anne here, and this is More Than a Love Interest, the show where we talk about the arcs of female characters in film. Today, we are talking about Naru in 2022's Prey. We'll get into what it means to be a hunter in this movie, her overall character arc, and how this works so well as Native American representation. Let's get started.
It's time. I'm ready for my katamia.
This movie is entitled Prey and is part of the Predator franchise. Predator, of course, usually refers to this species, but this movie plays with that as a role that can be reversed, exploring what it means to be a predator or prey.
The lion won't think that we're hunting in here. It'll think it's hunting us.
There are several different hunters in the movie, and Naru, as our protagonist, is usually compared to them. In the beginning, Naru attempts to hunt this deer. She is unsuccessful and ends up discovering a different hunting tactic in the process. Sari gets caught in this trap, and Naru has never seen such a thing before. We will meet those who utilize this kind of hunting later, but it is her introduction to it. Next, Naru talks to Tabe while waiting to shoot a falcon. He shows that he has incredible skill, but she has a better idea.
I was waiting for it to circle back.
She insists that she is ready for the challenge.
I'm ready for my katamia.
Because she saw the Thunderbird in the sky. But of course that's actually our predator arriving, so this is some great foreshadowing to how the movie will resolve.
You want to hunt something that's hunting you.
This is it.
Next comes the interaction between two kinds of hunters, the Comanche and a mountain lion. The lion has already taken someone, and Tabe leads a group out to retrieve him.
Hina!
A lion. Took Pui.
Naru is allowed to join only because...
She tracks well. If we find Pui alive, she knows medicine.
Meanwhile, the predator has started to learn about the local fauna and to determine what is worthy of becoming a trophy. This means that our hunters find the lion's prey unattended.
Why is Pui alive? There's something that scared the cat away from its den.
So they are able to rescue Pui and to take him home, while Naru goes back to warn Tabe that there is more to worry about than just the mountain lion.
We need to keep moving.
No, I have to warn my brother.
Our Comanche hunters know that the lion would be scared off by torches, as we soon discover.
Naru, we don't need the torches. Don't scare the cat.
It hunts by not being seen and attacks from behind.
And kill it.
Remember that for later. Tabe is more worried about the lion than any bear, and Naru shows a keen understanding of predator-prey dynamics.
It'll think it's hunting us.
She suggests using bait, and the other hunter does not care for that idea.
A hunter doesn't wait. He hunts.
Tabe settles things and puts the hunt in Naru's hands.
We'll try it Naru's way. It's time, Naru. You cut them, yeah.
Unfortunately, the lion is back and is a more successful hunter than Naru. So her second hunt ends just as fruitlessly as the first, while Tabe comes back victorious. Importantly, because he followed her idea, as he explains later.
You want to know how I killed that lion? Your plan.
Now, however, when she claims she can hunt, he disagrees.
You tried it. You couldn't bring it home.
So the next morning, she goes out to try hunting on her own, while the predator has continued up the food chain to take a wolf as a trophy. The wolf was chasing prey when it was killed by the predator before it could get that rabbit. Naru tries to hunt the rabbit and fails until she upgrades her tools. Now she gets several. And we have three contrasts in our hunters. The predator, taking trophies of the most fierce creatures he comes across, the Frenchman hunting just for fur, and Naru, who is hunting for something to eat.
Next time you're cooking.
The trappers are more like the predator, especially compared to Naru. They have superior technology and are essentially hunting for trophies, just like him.
What skins a snake like that? You killed the buffalo.
So next we find another predator, a bear, currently eating its kill. Naru is quickly aware of how it can sense her, using smell, and realizes that being upwind from it is dangerous. She and Sari manage to escape the attack, with her going to ground like a prey animal, hiding in a beaver dam. And the predator arrives to turn this predator into prey. The bear, like most of the animals in this movie, has no trouble finding its attacker in spite of the cloaking technology that otherwise keeps him hidden. So it puts up a real fight, getting a big bite out of him, but the predator is stronger. Naru swims away and is spotted, but the predator has no interest in prey animals. That doesn't prevent her from being hunted yet again, this time by the Comanche hunters. They catch her, even when she puts up a fight, and insist on taking her home.
We're going home.
When a bunch of prey animals unexpectedly head their way, they make sport instead of wondering, like her, what could have spooked them.
Should see your face.
What do you think drove the possums our way?
The predator may not have a bow, but his arrows are just as accurate as any of the Comanche hunters. He attacks the party and they show their strength and abilities, but are no match for his strength and technology. Naru runs, and this time he does give chase. She finds another member of the party, and the two are hidden in the long grass, communicating with hand signals so not to bring the attention of their prey. No doubt essential skills when hunting all sorts of animals, but both are ineffective against the predator. So Naru runs again. She's been hunted by a bear, her own people, the predator, and now a new problem. The fur trappers left another one of those traps around, and she falls into it. This saves her from the predator, who investigates the trap, then leaves her there, while of course landing her in a situation that is hardly better. Now she's a prisoner of the Frenchman. They use her and Tabe as bait to catch the predator, because that is how they hunt. But Naru already knows that he will be uninterested in them if they're tied up.
We're the bait. He's coming for us.
It doesn't want bait, it doesn't hunt that way.
He ignored her as soon as she was helpless, in stark contrast to the trappers who seem to only hunt the helpless. That's how she so quickly realizes that they were the ones to kill the buffalo, not the predator.
You killed the buffalo.
The fur trapper set, what else? A trap for the predator, and he tears through it as easily as he tore through the Comanche hunters' attacks. We, and Naru, see more of his arsenal and his tools to attack than he's needed to bring out thus far, and he leaves a trap for the trappers. He was injured sufficiently to leave and tend to his wounds, immediately contrasted with Naru using her medicine to barter with this trapper.
Help me, and I'll show you how to use it.
This has the unexpected benefit of making him invisible to the predator. Well, for a while, and Naru understands now how he hunts. She knew how to avoid detection from the bear, even if she failed, and now she knows how to avoid the predator's detection.
I can't see him.
Naru has gotten a gun, and she doesn't immediately figure out how to use it, but she does learn how the predator's arrows work. Sari distracts him and Tabe drives him away. Both of them realize that Tabe is now a threat, and he saves Naru with his final act, so she can be the one to escape again.
Tabe.
Run, Naru. It thinks I'm the threat.
Now Naru will put everything she's learned to good use. She's not a close-minded hunter like some of her fellow Comanche.
A hunter doesn't weed. He hunts.
She can learn to use traps and guns, just like the Frenchman, and she can use the tools of her enemies against them. She knows how to hide from the predator and how to bring him to where she wants him to go. She just has to make sure the bait seems like a threat.
And it won't either.
Tabe told her that her idea with the lion is what worked, making it think it's hunting you when you're the one hunting it. And she uses that tactic on the predator, including attacking just like the lion would. She has her mother's medicine so she can hide. She has her hatchet, her dog, the traps she set, and she leads the predator into this trap that she fell into earlier in the movie, using what got her out to force him into the bog. She uses his own weapons against him, even his mandible, and baits him into using his most effective weapon to end his life. So Naru is the prey of the lion, the bear, the hunters of her people, the trappers, and the predator. And she uses all of their tactics, as well as a few of her own, to change from being prey to being the predator herself.
This is as far as you go. No more. This is it.
She tells her brother about
I saw a beaver that had its legs pinned between two rocks. The water was rising so fast, it knew it was going to die. So it chewed off its one leg.
and the predator reacts the same way to being trapped. But Naru...
I'm smarter than a beaver.
And, it turns out, the predator. So that's how she completes her
Katamia.
to become the new war chief of the Comanche. The journey from prey to predator is a thrilling one, but let us get into how Naru develops as a character in the process. As usual, we will be using Maureen Murdoch's heroine's journey to explore how she changes over the course of the film. At the start of the journey, characters are usually separated from something, often against their will. For Naru, this is from her desire to become a hunter.
My girl, you are good at so many other things. Why do you want to hunt?
Her mother points out that she has many other skills, but she has a straightforward reason for what she wants.
Because you all think that I can't.
And honestly, we rarely get stories of women being driven by spite, so I am here for it. Anyway, she is separated from being a hunter and will achieve closure when she proves herself. Once the heroine starts on her journey, she gathers masculine allies to help her learn about the world as she goes. Naru has two clear allies in this story. Tabe
It's time. I'm ready for my katamia.
You really think you're ready?
and Sari.
Trained him well. It's easy. He's smart.
Both help her when she is in trouble, sometimes, but interestingly, she doesn't really learn from either of them. If anything, Sari certainly learned from her, and Tabe points out that he has as well, not the other way around.
You want to know how I killed that lion? Your plan.
But as I discussed in the last section, Naru does learn a lot on her journey. She just spends most of the movie learning from her enemies, or at least antagonists. So the Comanche warriors, the French trappers, and even the predator himself all fulfill the role of masculine ally, despite not having her best interest in mind, making hers a fairly unique journey. Once our heroine sets out, she goes down a road of trials. These usually have some bearing on what she really wants, but are not fulfilling. So Naru goes through quite a few adventures where she learns about predators and prey, and about the predator specifically, but mostly her trials are how she fails at several hunts, and learns how to do better. The road of trials comes to an end with the illusion of success. Naru was captured by the hunting party, chased by the predator, captured again, this time by the Frenchman, and then she and her brother were used as bait for the predator. It was a rough time, and so finally escaping everyone unscathed is a huge success.
What are you doing? I have a plan.
She proved that she was smarter than the trappers, that she understood how the predator operates,
No. It doesn't want bait. It doesn't hunt that way.
and that her medicine has an unexpected use against their enemy.
I can't see him.
And Tabe got himself a horse. Things are looking up.
Why did you give me a horse?
But only for a moment. The illusion of success is shattered, and the heroine experiences spiritual death as the worst thing possible happens. For Naru, that is obviously Tabe's death.
This is as far as I go. No more. This is it.
He was a significant role model in her life and seemed to be her strongest relationship, so his loss is devastating. It was her desire to become a hunter that brought him out here in the first place, and now his loss has her questioning the cost of what she really wants. Now the heroine goes on the descent, where she digs down deep to find her strength. Naru goes, as if in a dream, to wash her hands and clean off the blood, her brother's blood, among others. He died to save her, and she understands how this will devastate her mother. But Tabe was willing to sacrifice himself for a reason.
No.
Bring it home.
He let the predator view him as a threat because Naru is the only one who really is.
I didn't think I was a threat.
You want to know how I killed that lion? Your plan.
And she needs to be the one to finish this.
You can see what I miss. You always have.
So she stops washing her hands and knows what she must do next. The heroine urgently yearns to reconnect to the feminine after her masculine allies and her road of trials let her down. Naru may have failed her first hunt, but her ideas were good, and she truly wants to be a hunter. So she reconnects with that version of herself who's driven to prove what she can do.
Why do you want to hunt?
Because you all think that I can't.
Now, with weapons she has upgraded and knowledge she has gained from her enemies.
You think that I'm not a hunter like you.
The heroine next heals the mother-daughter split, that first separation that started her journey. Naru does this in two ways. On the more surface level, she learned medicine from her mother, and especially the use of these flowers.
Who taught you about orange tutsia?
You?
They provide an essential part of her plan to take on the predator and use his own tactic for invisibility against him.
And I'm not a threat.
So that demonstrates to Naru the value of learning her mother's skills. On a deeper level, Naru has spent the whole movie wanting to be a hunter, and she has failed time and time again.
That's what you chose for Katami.
Barely surviving at multiple points.
He killed your whole party.
I didn't kill everyone.
But she has survived, and she knows her plan will work, just like it did with the lion. Of course the lion preferred to hunt live prey instead of the bait Tabe was preparing for it, and she knows this predator will act the same way.
You can't see, but I'm killing you.
The next step is to heal the wounded masculine. Naru obviously is not going to be able to bring her brother back, but she can live up to his expectations of her and be the best hunter in the tribe.
I don't know that this thing can be killed.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
So she avenges the warriors that the predator killed.
You bled my brother. So now you bleed.
The final step is to integrate the masculine and the feminine. Naru does this beautifully as she marries her own skills, tactics, and weapons with that of her enemies.
Come on. Do it. Do it.
To prove that she can be the most successful hunter, even when she is being hunted. She returns to the village and is made the war chief, showing everyone that anyone can be the best hunter and protect their tribe. So overall, Naru's journey is a unique one, but she goes through all the steps perfectly. She starts out with a clear goal and faces many setbacks along the way, but she finds success in the end, and gets the coolest war paint anyone has ever worn. So on that note, let's talk about how this movie works as pretty incredible cinematic representation of Native American people. First, in the way language is depicted. The predator, of course, speaks in his own language, and we do not have subtitles or any significant clues to what he might be saying, or if he's even saying anything. We understand him the same way Naru does, from paying attention to what he is doing and drawing our own conclusions. Most of what we learn concretely about him and his tactics come from Naru herself, centering her as our source for understanding this world. She, and sometimes Tabe, explain the dangers of the bear and the mountain lion. She figures out the trappers and the predator, and we follow the story through her and what she understands.
What did you see? I speak a lot of languages.
Naru and the other Comanche speak English to us. Unless, of course, you watch the Comanche dub, where you have subtitles in English for them. They use some words and phrases in Comanche, but always in a way that is easy to understand what they mean. We are familiar with coming-of-age rituals, so we can easily grasp what this word indicates.
I'm ready for my katamia.
The same with calling the predator this.
Like a moot beats.
You saw a monster from a children's story?
Most of us in the audience likely have not heard either word before, but we can follow what they're talking about by the context. The Comanche also communicate using signs, and we are expected to follow what they're saying to each other, despite presumably not knowing this form of communication. We again have context clues to figure out what they mean. This is in contrast to the French trappers, whose dialogue is subtitled in French, no matter what language you're watching it in, and gives us no translation and rarely any clear idea of what they might be saying.
Qu'est-ce qu'elle fait ici? Je vais la porter.
Now, I suppose a few more viewers will know French than know Comanche, but the movie itself keeps us at a distance from these guys. The only one we understand is this Italian translator, and he is clearly speaking Comanche to Naru in this scene.
What did you see? You are Comanche, yes?
So the movie prioritizes how the Comanche communicate and not how anyone else does. This puts us squarely in Naru's shoes as we step into her world. The second way the movie works as representation is the use of technology. The visuals of Native Americans using bows and arrows has become legendary in cinema history, especially Westerns. But even though they're often presented as very capable, most depictions of Native Americans show them losing to a more advanced form of technology as Europeans bring in guns and cannons. Those are familiar images to most people watching this movie, but that isn't how these natives are shown to be. To start with, we see how incredibly dangerous Comanche warriors are using their own technology. Which, after all, bows and arrows are often shown to be rather impressive in other cinematic contexts. The trappers here have different methods of hunting and are quite successful at it, but the movie shows us that their motivation for hunting is what sets them apart from the Comanche, not really their technology itself.
Naru, or the bait.
A hunter doesn't weed, he hunts.
When the predator shows up, outstripping everyone with technology, the trappers fare no better than the Comanche, and perhaps worse, honestly, since just a handful of Comanche hold them off much longer than the Frenchmen do, even with their traps. Naru learns quickly to understand how the predator's weapons and tools work, and she picks up how the Frenchman's guns and traps work too. These things may be different from what she has, but she has developed the skills to use them just fine in the course of learning to shoot a bow, to throw a hatchet, and to mix medicine. She doesn't need the gun to beat the predator. It is one of many tools she uses to win. Her own tools are as effective as the trappers, and she needs to use the predator's tactics and weapons against him to actually beat him. So this isn't a story about how Native American technology fails, where the Frenchman succeeds. It's about how the predator's technology is far more powerful than anyone's, and it puts all of the humans on the same level, which is unusual for stories about Native American people.
Pull that buck, and it will fire.
That's all.
Finally, the way the story is told centers Native American practices, but does not deify them. The Comanche, at least in this movie, have the coming-of-age ritual to prove a person is a hunter who can survive, and many tribes had similar rituals. This being an important cultural tenet shapes the movie, but at no point are the natives represented as uniquely connected to nature or magically able to understand how things work in a way that an outsider does not.
Your plan. The tree, you weaken it.
Many depictions of Native Americans ascribe a certain mysticism to their practices, making them otherworldly and magical.
What's got Billy so spooked?
Can't say, Major. Been acting squirrely all morning. That damn nose of his.
But this movie avoids that. We have a realistic view of how the Comanche live and their capabilities as hunters, and Naru survives, not because she is somehow more than human, but because she is smart and pays attention to what everything else is doing. Sari here is just a dog, trained up the same way anyone could train a dog, not a unique sidekick for our Native American hero who intuitively understands animals.
Trained him well. It's easy. He's smart.
The predator is learning about how the predators and prey operate in the region the same way that Naru learned it, by watching. So whatever Naru knows about animals is just cultural knowledge that anyone can get from watching how the wildlife interact, not some incredible insight that only those closely connected to nature could ever figure out.
Who taught you about orange tootsie?
You? The cold is good. The medicine slows his blood. If he gets warm, he'll bleed out. And I'm not a threat.
I'm at their back!
If anything, the movie emphasizes that the Comanche, and Naru specifically, have a different worldview that leads to their success in hunting. When Naru fails in several hunts, she still manages to survive every dangerous encounter, as she tells the trappers,
He killed your whole party.
No. I didn't kill everyone.
her whole party wasn't killed, she is still here. This is what the whole movie is about. The same as what, arguably, the franchise has been about. Surviving against terrible odds.
You want to hunt something that's hunting you.
Naru completes her... That is the most effective summary of this movie, and Kutamiya is the title in Comanche. The Predator is here on a similar mission, finding and defeating the most powerful hunters on the planet. So we tie together the cultural practices of these Native Americans and these aliens.
Come on. Do it.
Naru starts the movie with this face paint, and she goes on her first hunt. When things go badly, the paint starts to wash off, and she has none during her lowest points in the film. When she prepares for the final battle, she reapplies her paint, with a slight variation. And when she is successful, she uses the Predator's blood as her war paint. Naru whistles in the dark to bring the monster to her. And she is on the same kind of hunt that the Predator is on. She survives many kinds of hunters native to her planet, as the Predator is moving his way up the food chain in much the same way. Hunting is essential to the cultures of both of them, and by the time they face off, they've proven to be the most effective hunters around, based on the practices of their individual cultures. So both use everything they have against each other to determine who's really on the top of the hierarchy around here. And that's what makes it a perfect entry to this franchise, and one of the best examples of Native American representation to come out of Hollywood.
That is what makes me dangerous.
I usually wrap these up by asking if the female character is more than a love interest. Obviously, Naru is not romantically involved with anyone in the story, so perhaps a better question is if she is more than a sister or more than a damsel. And absolutely she is. Though she is often in distress, I wouldn't say she is a damsel, something I'll be making a video about soon. And though her brother is a huge influence on her life, the movie is very clear about the fact that she has the potential to be a great hunter, to succeed where he fails, and not because she is following something he taught her. Instead, she is an incredible hunter in her own right, and that is why she succeeds. Thank you for listening to me talk about one of the coolest movie heroines we've seen lately. If you'd like to hear more of my thoughts on costuming, hers and other characters, please join my Patreon for exclusive videos on what costumes tell us about female characters. But otherwise, please like, comment, subscribe, or tip me on coffee if you enjoyed this video. Next time, we're gonna talk about why Disney princesses have princes. See you then.